And welcome into episode 65 of the Bama Geeks podcast. How you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Greetings.
Three of us are in our lovely state of Alabama. One guy is gone yet again.
I'm the on-site reporter.
Yeah.
Here is Kevin. Kevin's
Especially-
reporting in from a dank basement in an Airbnb currently in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yes. He's up there visiting with Jesse Ventura
Yeah.
in Minnesota.
You gonna bake in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
I went to a Minnesota Oktoberfest and saw Krampus. It was amazing.
Nice.
Yep.
So yeah, we're all down here. I would say we're down here baking in the Alabama heat, but apparently Kevin took that with him up to Minnesota as well.
Yeah.
Apparently.
There's
It's
a
actually
heat-
hotter up here right now than it is in Alabama. So
There's a heat wave going on in Minnesota. Never thought you'd ever hear that.
Yeah. So, of course, I'm Brock Parker. There's my wife, Jessica.
Hi.
And there's Kevin in the land of lakes.
10,000
10.
lakes.
Did-
Someone
did-
counted them.
so we don't know if that's an accurate count then.
We don't know.
Okay.
Well, you need to check on that while you're up there, Kevin. Okay.
Yeah.
Report back to us.
Yeah.
I got to 343 and lost count. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and we also have Brother Bo Bearden over there. Right there.
I'm
The
near
mayor.
a lake.
yeah.
Hey, Lake.
$1 million
Hey,
lake.
Lake.
Hey, $1 million
Hey.
lake.
So we hope that you're doing well. We thank you for joining us. We're creeping on up the episode count. Like I said, 65. We are driving the speed limit now in some places. 5 more episodes until we're the Alabama speed limit on the interstate for the most part.
Yeah,
The posted speed limit now.
Posted.
The observed
Yeah.
one.
we're the speed limit between on Highway 280 between Sylacauga and Auburn. That's the speed limit there. That's what we are. We're that speed limit right now.
Well, you kind of got to drop down in Dadeville a little bit
Mhm.
Yeah,
in Alexander City. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've already passed those episode numbers. But we thank you for joining us. We got some fun things happening this episode. We're going to be talking about Alabama Comic-Con. Jess and I went and had a great experience there. And also Kevin, when he was in the state, went to go hear a wonderful concert down in Montgomery. We don't know what Bo's been up to. He's just, being Bo. But
And there's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with that. Bo's the best thing you can be,
That's
in our
right.
opinion. But we've also got these jewels. We all four have Golden Eagle mini pecan pies. We have all been seriously good with our willpower. None of us have eaten these yet. We've all been in possession of them for a few days.
Mhm.
They came in. Jess and I got a box. Kevin got a couple of boxes. Bo got a couple of pies in his mailbox, thanks to
Yes.
Brock Hub, not
Yes.
Grub Hub, or Brock Dash. That's what it was. So,
Sounds like some kind of Gen 6 Pokemon.
Yeah.
I know nothing about that. You guys are the Pokemasters, if that's what they're called. I don't know. I just know Ash.
And Pikachu.
That's what I do at you all the time. So
What?
we're married. I
Oh,
can.
okay. Oh, what did you say? Peek at you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Pikachu. Pikachu.
What did you think you meant, Jess?
Look,
We left Patreon chat already.
Oh yeah.
oh, sorry.
Peek at you. Okay.
Yeah, it's you when you're in Alabama, you say, "Hey, Baz, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna peek at you."
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just go ahead since we don't know what Bo's been up to. Why don't you start us off, Bo? What have you been up to?
I've done work, fatherhood, rinse, repeat. Like I said, I haven't had anything exciting going on too much with me. Like I said, I can't remember how. I guess I'm slowly catching up to Kevin now. I did some yard work, and I've got our some of our inflatables and some of our lights up for our Halloween decorations.
Your yard looked good the other day when I stopped by.
It's good. We're slowly adding more to it, and we're gonna probably add a couple of different things. My mom, she went to Aldi and found like one of those big rope spider display type
Oh yeah,
things.
I've
Yeah.
seen those. A couple of people have those. Those
Yeah.
look cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to put that up. I'll probably work that in sometime this week. Mostly, I don't know. I've been in like a severe like organization mood. Like I've been working in the garage, getting it reorganized, and playing a few games when I can. Which for the first time in over a year, I fired up Mass Effect Legendary Edition, Brock, because I looked at my last achievement. It was like November of last year, and I was like, I might need to play this as much as I used to play the original trilogy religiously. I don't know. It's been weird. Like I'll go through phases where I'll want to play single player stuff, and then I'll hop back into multiplayer when I get a chance. But like I said, I sit down and played. I'm doing some of my loyalty missions on Mass Effect 2. Like the last one I did was who did I just do loyalty mission for? My boy Morden. That was the last one I did.
Yeah.
His loyalty mission in Mass Effect 2, and then I got a couple more to work on. But beyond that, that's it. We're getting ready for a trip. We're going this weekend. Well, we're recording this when we're recording this. A couple days after this airs, we will be driving our way down to Orlando, Florida for the weekend to go to Legoland. So we're going to see how that
That's
works
right.
out.
Yeah, that's right. That trip's coming up for you. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
so awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick weekend trip. We'll drive down Friday, stay Saturday and Sunday, and then come home Monday. So that's gonna be interesting. Having a weekend trip like that, but it won't be too bad. I've already talked with him, but it's about an hour and a half, or about a little over an hour of his way. But darnay, I was gonna like, hey man, I'm gonna be in your neck of the woods. At least say hi to you. But I don't think schedule's gonna line up. But beyond that, that's I'm trying to think. Beyond that, that's been it for me.
Has he taken his trip through Alabama yet? I know he was planning a road trip.
I'm trying to remember here recently. He went back up to where his home, which is I think kind of near where I think it is. Was he? I think he was in Minnesota. I feel bad. Like he's told me a million times, but
It was up north.
Yeah,
Was it Michigan?
I feel bad, Darnay. I'm being a bad friend right now, but
we're
but
old, man. You know.
Yeah, it is. We're not forget because we don't care. We just forget because our brain won't let us remember. But beyond that, like I said, I think he's made a trip, but I'm not sure again.
Okay.
But yeah,
we'll have to meet up with him at some point. I know we're going to be down. We're not going to have a whole lot of free time, but we'll be down in Orlando in November.
Yeah.
Taking our kids to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's from it's Minnesota.
Yeah,
okay.
Minnesota. So I thought
Plymouth, Minnesota, Minneapolis, and Chris Holm. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we're calling you out here, Donnie.
Yeah, he's
exposing all your locations.
Yes, we're doxing you. Nah, that was it. That's been all for me. Like nothing much interesting outside of you want a detail of how I reorganized my garage. That's about it. That's about the most interesting thing that's happened to me.
You know I'm interested.
Oh, hey, I got some shelves, got some stuff off the floor that was on the floor, and I'm anxiously awaiting until I can use some of the couple new tools I got. I'm going to use on my truck next time I do some maintenance on it. That's about it.
Tell me more.
Yeah, now I'm interested. What kind of tools you got?
I just got a couple of things, just some ramps and stuff, and I'm just looking at getting me a grease gun to try to hit some of the spots like that. Just I don't know. I've got the weird bug of being, like I said, I think I get what Kevin's got, the weird bug of being handy and doing stuff. I don't know. It's must be this must it's I don't know. It's interesting. Like I've been busy. I don't know what I guess maybe that's why I look tired, Kevin. I've been busier than normal.
Bo, it's not a weird bug. It's an expensive bug.
Oh yeah, no. I've already priced stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is.
Well, good deal. Well, Kevin, you've been state hopping.
Yeah. I'm currently in, as I mentioned earlier, I'm currently in Minnesota doing some vacation, vacationing here, and just had never been here before. So I've had quite a few people on Facebook reach out to me since I've been posting that I'm in Minnesota. They're like, "Why didn't tell me you were going to be in my neck of the woods?" So apparently, I've got a lot of friends who are in Minnesota currently. This place it's great. It feels. I mean, I was telling them earlier in our previous little chat for our Patreon members that if you were to remove the signs, Yes, thank you for the.
Mhm.
If you were to remove the signs and then spin me around in a couple of directions, and then I looked around with the way the weather is right now, I'd probably think I was somewhere in Alabama that I've never been before. It's just it feels very familiar here until people started talking, and I'd be like, when did I get to Fargo? Hey, folks have the accent here. Obviously they're missing, some of the staples of the grocery store that I'm used to in Alabama. They don't have Golden Eagle products here or anything like that. We're a little bit ways away, but this place is it's been pretty fun. Can definitely tell. Quite a few of the cars that are here are a lot more beat up because they do salt the roads and whatnot in the winters, and you can tell some of the cars they've just got like the bottoms of them are eat up, and then it's stuff that we don't really see very often in Alabama. Where in Alabama the entire cars eat up. That's with no windshield and things like that. That stuff exists here too. It's just usually just the bottom of the car, but I mean. Pretty much been my last several days has been in Minnesota, and before that is we're going to speak about it a little bit, but I have the concert with the Montgomery Symphony Orchestra we'll talk about here in just a few, but it's actually been fairly reasonably action packed for me for the last couple of weeks.
Nice. It's funny to hear you say how that area up there it resembles Alabama a little bit.
Mhm.
In 2017, I was the best man for one of my best friends from high school up in London, Ontario. And driving from Detroit into Canada and on the way up to London, it looks like South Alabama. It's the spitting image of the flat farmland that's in where I grew up in South Alabama, with the exception up there, they've got giant windmills everywhere.
Yep.
But landscape, I swear I was back around Dothan or Enterprise. It was identical to where I grew up.
Yeah, it is flat as a pancake here. There's really not much of anything, and I was kind of enamored that since I'm in Minneapolis for folks that a lot of folks that may not know, well, they got their big boom, whereas Birmingham, Alabama got their big boom from iron steel mills. Here they got it from grain and flour mills. So they had the big mill explosion that happened when it was 26 years after it was closed. The thing just suddenly one night just blew its top and went up in an inferno, and that was that was back in the 90s, and that was a big thing that kind of shocked the nation at the time. That occurred because it had been closed for so long. But there's quite a few prominent flour brands came from here. Pillsbury has a big presence here. So it's this place. It's pretty cool. I would definitely recommend it if you're ever wanting to visit Minnesota. Definitely check out Minneapolis. This seems to be a really cool place, and there's tons of places you can go here. You can travel a couple of hours. You can actually go to the source of the Mississippi River.
Oh,
it's very close.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very nice.
All right. Well, as far as us, Jess and I have been traveling, not as far as Kevin. We went over into Georgia.
Yeah.
We spent the past couple of days over there. My kids had homecoming. My daughter had her senior homecoming game, and she was on the homecoming court. So we went over there for that. And then they had the homecoming dance. My son's very first one. My daughter's very last one. My son did not have a date. And we asked him, why didn't you try to get a date for your homecoming dance? And his response was, I'm a simple man. I'm only going for the food.
He doesn't have time for all that.
He doesn't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got to eat. And he's skinny as a rail, But so that's what we've been up to outside of our usual shenanigans at work and school and everything else. Then we'll talk about Alabama Comic-Con that happened last weekend. We'll talk about that in a bit as well. But outside of that, nothing much really for us.
Yeah, nothing really. Yep, just normal life, I guess.
Just prepping like these other two gentlemen for Halloween.
Yeah,
Man.
It's
Now,
October 1st.
Today, as we're
Today's-
recording, October 1st.
And I will tell you this, guys. Unlike normal, anybody that knows me and has seen my Halloween decor, it's kind of not there yet. I've got some new things that I'm going to be doing this year, but because I had this big trip that I was going to be doing to Minnesota, I'm not going to be doing that until I get home. So you probably are going to see pictures. I will probably post some to the front porch. I'll be putting some of my stuff up. I'm going to have Stay Puft back this year. I'll have the skeleton Ghostbusters back this year. And this year I actually have a new addition, my Trick Ghastly display that's going to actually be singing Ghostbusters. Yeah, it's going to be sweet. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm hoping we break our, and granted, some of you guys may laugh at this because you probably get way more trick-or-treaters or way less trick-or-treaters. But every year that I've been at my current home, the trick-or-treat account has gone up. It probably has nothing to do with the fact that I give out full-size candy bars. But I'm hoping that this year we break over 150 kids this year. So
Wow.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we do, because I mean it's got to the point where they just bring them up in trailer loads to the house. So yeah, I'm super stoked and looking forward to it.
Are you guys doing trick or treat on Halloween, or is it going to be like the weekend prior? Do you know yet when the neighborhood's going to do it?
I'm going to be doing it I will be ready to go on the weekend if I have trick or treaters to come around. But I haven't heard anything from anybody around and them trying to organize anything beforehand. So I'm going to be doing it on, because it's a Tuesday this year, I think. I'm going to be doing it on Halloween.
Okay, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't really have trick or treaters come through our neighborhood.
Yeah.
So we miss out on the fun. But
I'm kind of located like in the middle of a large neighborhood, and it just happens to be kind of the central location, and everyone just knows to bring their kids there.
Well, it's like we have a few at my neighborhood. I figured I would have had more when we moved here because we've only been here about 5 years now, and I figured there'd be more, but it's not as much traffic as I was expecting.
Yeah, and you're in a good sized neighborhood too.
Yeah.
I mean, we are too. We've got a lot of houses around here, but they nobody trick or treats. In fact,
It's strange how that works.
Yeah. There's a house a couple of doors down that some people have now moved into, and I walked outside last night after we got back, and they had Halloween lights up around their windows and stuff. So I'm like, oh, there's actually some life in this neighborhood finally. So yeah, that's, not gunshot related.
Bring life to the Halloween scene in the neighborhood since I moved in. Probably has zero to do with me. It is just that people want to participate, but I don't know. I understand you people doing trunk or treat. I understand that. I still think that there's a lot of importance in kids being able to get out and see different houses and things like that.
I completely agree.
I will always support that 100%.
Yeah. And whenever we move from here, hopefully, well, granted, my goal is to get back out into the country and
like,
away from civilization. So we might not have any trick or treaters ever again. But it's just, I wish we could. I really do wish we did have trick or treaters around here, but they don't come around.
No,
we're not one of the neighborhoods.
It's weird. I've never been able to crack the code as to why it is. I mean, it could be socioeconomic reasons. It could be just the neighborhood isn't friendly. It could be, I mean, you guys have had some fun stuff in your neighborhood happen. They could kind of preclude it from being considered a friendly area.
Thankfully, random and a one-off incident. Thankfully, we covered that in previous episodes. But
then you can have a super quiet, safe neighborhood that never gets folks. Bro, they said that he doesn't get very many, and whereas I do, I get a lot because people just know every year that they can go and do this loop around this one particular road and then just fan out from there. And those kids are going to come back with garbage bags full of candy.
I think also
definitely worth it to go.
But I think also people like you said, they do the groups where they go to them like pre-made neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Rather than the housing neighborhoods, which I get that. Hey, that's fine because it's simple path, circle in and out. Where some of these places have different layout, but
yeah, they queue up to go around our street. So like when it's really jumping, like around 7 o'clock, we have a queue of cars waiting to go around.
Yeah.
And it just makes me feel so good. That's what does it for me for Halloween is like, I love doing all the decorations. I just love it that others can enjoy it. It's the same as when we would go out and do, Ghostbusters, and then, we still do, but like when we go to conventions, as you get up there, you're like, cool. There's obviously somebody at the table that's enjoying this as much as I do, and they really want to know more. It's just the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of the same way with neighborhoods back when I lived in East Alabama. When my kids were younger, our neighborhood, even though it was a very established, there were kids all in the neighborhood, they didn't do trick or treat in our neighborhood. So we would go probably a couple of miles away to another neighborhood where all the affluent people lived. And boy, they decorated every house, and there were cars in lines as far as you could see. And so we always went over there. And so, our kids thankfully were, young enough to not realize that mom and dad were swiping their candy too.
Well, the good thing is I think this year, like last year we also had, Halloween on a weekday. Like last year, a lot of the trunk or treat activities, pretty much everywhere, are going to happen on the weekend, which that's cool. That just leaves true Halloween, and trick or treating is going to leave it open. So hopefully, any kid's going to be like, Mom, can we go and do trick or treating as well, because I can get double candy.
Exactly.
If not more.
Yeah, the trunk or treat that we'll participate in again this year is on a Sunday night, before Halloween.
Yeah.
So, well, very cool. Well, a huge welcome back to the best month of the year.
That's right.
It's
October, baby.
October, hands down, is the best month of the year, and I think all four of us will fight anybody on that.
Yep.
It's a great month.
I agree.
And I see all y'all's red and white trying to take over.
You know what? The thing people like to complain about that with stores are going to put out what sells, and the reason that they put out Christmas early is because people buy Christmas early. I get it.
Well,
I hate it. But
when we went to Hobby Lobby one time, I mean, I flat out asked an associate, it was at the end of September, beginning of October. And I asked them, I said, so why do you guys put out so much Christmas stuff early? And they said, well, we're a craft store and people start making their Christmas crafts this time. They start buying the things and start working on them to put them up around Christmas. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Why are the trees up?
Yeah.
I don't understand selling the Christmas trees just yet, but.
Well, there are some folks that, November 1st hits and they've already got Mariah Carey out full blast.
I can't stand it. My daughter loves Christmas music so much. And as soon as Halloween is done, it's time to turn it on. And, local radio stations around Birmingham, one in particular, is notorious for starting right as soon as Halloween ends. And I refuse to listen to any Christmas music until Thanksgiving night. Once Thanksgiving night hits and dinner's over, you know what? Welcome Santa. Yeah, give the turkey a chance, though.
Yeah, everyone's always like, you must dislike Christmas. No, I like balance.
Yes.
You like things where they belong.
Well, I mean, the whole November 1st thing is the November 1st thing. I can't say anything because I'm starting to do Halloween on September 1st. So because I go by, people have had folks say they're going to argue with me, and I'm like, I go by meteorological fall, which is September 1st. When James Spann, the weatherman, tells me it's fall, that's when we start doing Halloween.
Game on.
Usually, I put mine up after I get home from Dragon Con because I still have a day or two afterwards before I go back to work. This year I didn't do that, but I'm kind of glad I did because I was able to mow my lawn and then put my displays up, and now I don't think I have to worry about moving them to cut my grass again, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
So that's...
Don't say that.
I know. I mean, I don't mind. It's just it's not too aggravating. It's just, but that's, like I said, that's me. Like I said, I try not to dislike Christmas. It's just.
No, I don't. I don't see that as you dislike.
No.
But you kind of like, the holidays to be what, where they are in their placement of it.
It's more special when it happens when it's supposed to. I guess that might be my weird way of doing it.
No, I totally get that.
I'm just my thing is when it's September, we're supposed to be in the 60s. Okay. With this,
Alabama,
we're supposed to be in the 60s. I should be feeling crisp, cool breezes right now. That's my gripe.
No,
I know, but that's
tornadoes, hurricanes.
Yes.
when September hits. I'm done with hot weather. Let's roll right into fall. This is how it's supposed to be. It's September.
Not in
Shoot, I'm done with
Alabama.
hot weather June 15th. That's when I'm done
Well,
with hot weather.
Just like
Yes.
I just wish that the seasons were as
Balance.
they're supposed to be. Yes,
Yeah.
balance. It's a sense of
Balance.
balance. Yes.
You know how it is, Jess.
I
We get
know.
3 weeks of winter in February, and then when we go straight back to summer. That's the way it is here.
I just want to be wearing, I just want to be if it's Halloween, I want to wear like, jack-o'-lantern sweatshirts and sweaters and it's just like I want fall to feel like fall right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Soon. We're in October. Soon.
Now, I
Very
don't-
soon.
The leaves are falling like it's fall. Like
Mhm.
my driveway is completely covered in leaves.
Well, we had fake fall last week and the week
Yeah.
before last. The temperatures did drop down into the low 80s.
Also, being
Yeah.
ridiculously dry helps too.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's October. We're happy.
Mhm.
Going to be even happier
Yeah.
when that temperature drops.
Yeah.
I will have a happy little midgie.
That's right. 60 degrees. Come on, 60-degree weather. I'm ready
I
for
need to
you.
wash my jacket. That's what I think. I don't know if I washed that for last
Oh
season.
golly, yeah, I gotta get my jackets and go have them dry clean too.
Yeah, I love jackets. I like wearing jackets. We just don't get much jacket weather.
I love wearing jackets too. It hides my fat.
Ah,
Hey, there you go.
Hey, I bothered packing a jacket to come up here, and that jacket hadn't been touched.
Psych.
Well, I'm also looking forward to, Brock and I would like to kind of dive into some more, horror stuff, watching some horror movies this month and, getting ready for the spooky season.
Yep, I got that box set, that Blu-ray box set of all the 30 something classic Universal monster movies.
Ooh.
All the black and white ones.
Ooh,
It was a box set from Universal. I got what, last year? We got it?
Year before last or last year or something. It's
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think we watched them. No, we did watch a couple of them last year.
We did.
Yeah, we got to break those out.
Mhm.
And my daughter, who's never really seen a horror movie, was asking me the other day for her and her boyfriend, like, hey, what'll be a good, safe, maybe a good psychological horror movie that we could watch? And right off the bat, I'm like, look, ignore the fact it's in black and white. You got to go Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock is good psychological.
That's going to be your first great entryway into horror movies is Psycho. Don't go for this Vince Vaughn remake. Go for the OG Anthony Perkins.
Yeah.
So I definitely I know we need to plow through the other Universal monster films, but we got to do Psycho.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I also bought a DVD set of like 6 classic Hitchcock movies, and of course that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we own all the Psychos.
Do we?
I think so. I know the first 2 you can't get any better than that. But
I tell you what's one thing with all the black and white stuff, like all the black and white stuff transitions beautifully to high definition. Like I don't know what it is, something
Film.
about those black and white. Yeah, I guess film. And just like the black and white stuff it transfers and it looks so beautiful.
Yeah.
yeah,
Did you I mentioned this last year, Brock. I think when we were talking about like our favorite Halloween movies.
mm-hmm.
Did you guys ever get around to watching A Girl Walks Alone Home? I am totally butchering this. Girl Walks Home Alone at Night.
No.
The
No,
2014 film. It was like an indie film
Mhm.
that has the same level of like horror, psychological horror as Psycho.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to. Well, it just you you guys who listen, you guys know me. My brain's gonna forget about this halfway through the episode. So now when I go back and get ready to post this, we got to make a note to watch that, Jess.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha.
That's like with me. There's a psychological horror movie I want to watch because it's inspirational. One of my favorite games of horror, Silent Hill 2. It's called Jacob's Ladder, and it's supposed to be like a lot of inspiration.
Oh, with Tim Robbins.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to. Yeah, I've heard it. I need to watch it, but like I said, I know it's an inspiration for one of my favorite games, Silent Hill 2, and I need to watch it.
Jacob's Ladder is a good movie. It's Tim
Okay.
Robbins. I remember watching it in the 90s when not long after it came out. Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, anything with Tim Robbins, I'm going to watch. So
And it's on Paramount Plus.
It is okay. Good deal.
there you go.
Yeah. So you have that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, my daughter's boyfriend was like, she texted her back. She's like, that's in black and white, and I'm like, young man, you will appreciate it being in black and white.
Yeah.
Because you'll never know it's chocolate syrup going down the drain instead of blood.
It is kind of funny how like the black and white thing is like, I guess that's like me when you're going back with nostalgia, like how our parents kind of looked at black and white stuff. Like now to me, I look at things like that were recorded or filmed in standard definition. It's kind of like our generation's black and white stuff.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
I agree with that very much. Speaking of Psycho, I don't know if I've ever told the story on here when at Universal Studios Florida, they had an Alfred Hitchcock theater, which is now Shrek's 3D something.
I think the Shrek thing's gone.
Yeah, Shrek's gone.
Yeah.
I think it's about to become something else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Too many iterations of this. But where the Shrek 3D thing, I guess that's what it was. That used to be the Alfred Hitchcock Presents place, and I actually got to play Norman. You go and you sit down and you watch kind of a little mini documentary of Alfred Hitchcock and his films and stuff. And the I don't guess they're called cast members at Universal. I know this is what they called at Disney, but the employees, the park employees, they're Universal. This was when I was in high school. They came through the crowd and they would just sit there and look at people. And one of them walked up to me and they're like, "How would you like to help us out with something?" And I'm like, "Okay." They said, "All right, well, when you get into the theater to watch this documentary, there's going to be a center seat that has a star in front of it. Go sit in that seat. And then before the documentary is done, we're going to bring you backstage somewhere." I said, "Okay, cool." So went, sat down, they got me, and I went back and they're like, "Okay, time to put on a dress." And I'm like, "What?" They said, "Yeah, you got to wear a dress and a wig. You're going to play Norman Bates. And we've got an actress here and of course another one of the park employees."
Mm-hmm.
So I went introduced, they got introduced to her, and she was wearing a tan colored leotard, and she was going to be in the shower scene. And I was going to come by, and yank the curtain back and yeah. So I got to do that, which was really cool, in front of the rest of the crowd. That was pretty cool. And they said the light's going to come on behind you. And so your silhouette is going to show through the shower curtain.
Mm-hmm.
So just stand there with that pose with the knife up in the air and then yank the curtain back and have at her, but don't really.
Do it, but don't do it.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. So I love Alfred Hitchcock. I can't wait to dive back into those now that it's October.
Yeah. It's really good.
So, well, I guess we can wrap up our intros. Anybody got anything else?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do head on into, well, before we do, let's do our social media plugs at Bama Geeks on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. I'm slowly being able to say X and not Twitter anymore, even though I had to reference tweets at some point today in some homework, but X, that's what it is.
Yeah, you're referencing X's.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Boy, don't we all have stories. At Bama Geeks on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. You can also find us on Facebook at the Bama Geeks Front Porch. Just search that out. That's our private online community where we hang out and post some fun things. Kevin's going to have some stuff, like he said earlier, that he'll share in there. And then if you want to get in on the 40 minutes prior to this that we spent talking to our wonderful Patreon members, patreon.com/BamaGeeks, $5 a month will get you the extra episodes, extra audio, extra video, and
Extra.
access to the Discord and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
$5 a month. We hope it's the best $5 a month you can spend. Maybe not, but we try. So, Jess, are you ready? You have not told me anything about this episode's Southern words and phrases.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You are ready. All right,
Yeah.
there you go. Now you're on the big screen.
Hi, everyone. Hello. For this episode, I have selected the. Well, I guess it's a phrase, but it's a word also, or a term, I guess is what you'd say. I have selected hissy fit.
Nice.
Hissy fit.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That is a term I heard my entire childhood.
I think we have all heard hissy fit said to us numerous times in our lifetime. A hissy fit is a grown-up temper tantrum. Sometimes this is shortened to hissy. I might also note that any true Southerner knows that you don't have a hissy fit. You pitch one.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom told me I was pitching a hissy fit all the time. That was one of her favorite phrases.
Yeah, my mother too.
Yep. Hissy fit. Yes.
Hissy fit.
Have you had a hissy fit lately?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, you're pretty
Oh,
calm.
she did. You know about it.
I was going to say, you would know.
You'd be prime suspect.
Yeah. Well, tell me about it. Yeah. In the 5.5 years that we have been together, no, we've never had a throwdown of any kind.
Mm-mm.
We're usually pretty, don't yawn. She's yawning.
I'm so tired. I'm sorry.
Now you sound like my daughter. She's always
I'm
tired.
I feel like I'm pitching a hissy fit when I'm so tired.
No, you're pitching a yawning fit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, she is very well reserved. I am too. We have a very calm household. It's wonderful at this age.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right.
Well, we need to know, Mr. Gardner, did you prepare for Minnesota dad jokes?
I didn't do Minnesota dad jokes, guys. This is Spooktober. We're going to be having Halloween dad jokes.
Oh, snap.
Yay.
Good.
All right, guys, you ready for this one? It's going
Let's
to be
do it.
Halloween dad joke number 1. Okay. Where will you never find a vampire eating?
You got me on that one.
At a steakhouse.
Bravo.
I've not heard that one.
That
That's
is a
great.
good one. That is
Good.
that's a new one to me.
I was thinking somewhere garlic or bread or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Although it does happen occasionally, but it's probably really rare.
Hang on, where is it?
That was very well done.
There it is.
Yay.
That's awesome. We only going with one this episode, or you got another one, or you
No,
gonna
that's
save
one.
it for?
No, that's,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, that's good. That's a good one. That's a
That's
gets off
fantastic
that one.
Yeah. I like that one.
That's a very good one. All right. Well, thank you both so much for that. That is wonderful.
You're welcome.
Hissy fit in steakhouses. I love it. You ever thrown a hissy fit in a steakhouse?
Yeah.
Well, if your food's not, if you don't get your food like you like it, I guess that could cause you to pitch a hissy fit.
I don't want to tell the story, but I think I probably have before.
We about to get all angry up in this Quincy's.
We'll have a
mean?
throwdown in Tony's.
What do you mean you don't have the big fat yeast roll?
Yeast roll, yeah.
Oh, big fat yeast roll.
Well, if we wanted-
Quincy's, man. Oh,
Oh, those were so good. Those rolls were the best. And I always thought that Quincy's was named after the TV show.
Oh,
Remember the old- yeah.
Jack was that not Jack Glugman, right?
I think
it
so,
was.
yeah,
Jack
yeah.
Glugman, yeah.
Yeah. There's a throwback.
Yeah. There's your random useless information for me for the episode.
We have,
Huh?
yeah, Jack Klugman.
Yeah.
You're correct, Bo.
Yep. So I do want to talk about, I do want to pitch an audible, very
Ooh.
calm, hissy fit.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh.
I know where we're going.
popcorn. Here we go.
So,
All right.
hey,
Okay. So I'm,
hissy fit, aka Bear with Brock.
yes, this is the
Yes.
Bear with Brock segment. We are going to calm down after this with some Golden Eagle pecan pies.
Yeah.
That's the calming factor. So let's talk about, you guys have heard us bash on Walmart. We've kind of laid off Walmart for a while, and we'll continue to lay off Walmart. They've been okay lately.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been good. Walmart, you're doing well. Let me tell you who's not doing well. That'd be Federal Express. That'd be FedEx. Fed up with FedEx. This isn't Bear with Brock. This is fed up with FedEx. At FedEx, we had some stuff. I mean, it's October, spooky season. You got to get your Halloween decorations. And where's one of the best places to get your Halloween decorations? Spirit Halloween. Well, they had a wonderful sale, as they always do. And so we loaded up on Haunted Mansion stuff. And FedEx, Spirit shipped it via FedEx, which I always cringe when I see that carrier on many things. But FedEx delivered it, just not to our house. This was a big box, and we dropped a dime on some Haunted Mansion stuff because it was in stock. Sometimes it's hard to find the things you really want, but we caught it when it was in stock. So because our local Spirit stores had not opened yet, and I don't even know if they are open. But so we ordered some Haunted Mansion stuff. Again, I'm being a broken record. Apologize for that. FedEx delivered it to this house about 3 miles away. Now, how do we know it was 3 miles away? Well, it was because FedEx has a procedure where most of the time they will send you a picture of your delivery. And it says, I got the email. Hey, delivered. Fantastic. I open up the app. That's not our house.
Yeah.
There's the box. There's a big box with Spirit Halloween tape around it. And that's not our house. That's not our carport. We don't know where it is.
Yeah.
So I messaged Jess. I'm like, it ain't here. It's not at the house. Of course, I'm at work. She's at work. And she said she went to our local Facebook group and said, hey, can anybody tell me where this house might be? And immediately, wonderful people in our community. Yep, it's here. It's on this road. Okay, fantastic. Jess pulls up Google Maps. Lo and behold, there it is.
I found the house. The exact same car parked in under the carport that's in the FedEx picture. You know, who knows when this Google map or this Google image was uploaded, but it's the same car in the picture that shows where FedEx delivered this package. Yeah.
Even for a Chevy, it was reliable, apparently.
Yeah.
So, honey, what did you do next when you discovered this location?
Well, we'll backtrack for just 1 second, because when you sent me the picture, I called FedEx.
Yeah, that's what it was before we located the house.
Right. When you sent me the picture that you got showing the delivery, I called FedEx and I was like, hey, and of course, they don't want you to speak to someone. Oh, no. They want you to use the automated thing, which isn't any help at all.
Never.
Because it tells you the exact same thing that's on the website. All they can tell you is your package was delivered. So I had to act like an idiot that I don't know how to push a button. And I just had to sit there.
0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And finally says, let me put you in touch with someone. That's what I want. Because you try to say representative. I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. They send you the automated thing. Anyway, finally got somebody. Told them, hey, we got the picture of the delivery. That isn't our house. That doesn't look like any house on our street. I have no idea where this house is. So they were like, okay, well, we'll send up an issue. And if you don't receive your package within 24 hours, we would highly suggest that you file a claim. Okay. So, and this leads me to, I got thinking about it. And I was like, I've seen people on our town community page make similar posts. Some people even say, hey, I've got a package at my house for so-and-so, just reaching out. So
people here are helpful.
Yeah, there's been a lot of resolution. So I went ahead and I was going to make that post. Now it has to have admin approval, so it doesn't go up immediately. But it did finally go up, and I had a couple of people comment, and this, like Brock was mentioning earlier, so, hey, I know where this house is. So now we've gotten to the point that we're in the story where I know where this house is. So it's not far from where I work. So I was like, hey, I'm going to go check something. Be right back. So I left and went to this house, and hey, look, it is the house. There is the car that's in the driveway. There's no box sitting out on the carport though, but it is so I walked up, knocked on the door, and this day and age, this world we live in,
You have to be leery about walking into somebody's
really,
house.
yeah, you just don't really know where you're coming up on. And I get it. And it's same for the people that live in a house,
Yeah.
So I go up and I think I'm ringing a doorbell, but I don't hear anything. So I just start knocking on this little side door under the carport. And I hear this little old lady voice, "Who's there?" I was like, oh, great. I was like, "Hi, ma'am. I'm so sorry to bother you, but I think that you might have gotten a package delivered here to your house that belongs to me." There's silence. Hang on. So lady opens the door. She looks like she's probably maybe in her 70s. And I show her the picture. Yeah, that's my house. I know, I'm standing here. Yeah, I realize this. She's like, "I don't have your box though. I don't have it. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I hope you find it."
But what box did she have?
She said the only thing she had delivered to her house, and she showed me, which
She went to the basement to get it.
Yeah, she was like, "Well, yeah, I'm sorry." She did say, she was, "Well, hang on, let me check." And she, come back out, didn't have the package, but she had her Chewy box.
Yeah.
For
the pup.
for her pup at the house. So it's like, she said, "Ida, this is the only box I've had delivered here today." And
Not relevant to the story, but I thought it was cute.
yeah, so I was like, "Well, thank you. I'm so sorry to bother you." "That's all right. I hope you get it figured out. I hope you find your package." I was like, "Me too."
Yeah.
So
we just chalk it up to the packages gone. The package, the box is missing from her carport.
yeah, and maybe we're thinking, okay, so maybe they did go by and pick it. Maybe they realized what they did. They got the call about it. They went back and picked up the box from the house.
But the picture, and I did look, the picture was still showing her house that later that night. So we're just like, okay, somebody took it, somebody stole it. That's fine. We'll file a claim with FedEx. So, because they told her, call back in 24 hours. I get up the next morning, get to work, and just for grins and giggles, check the FedEx app. Well, guess what? The picture had changed to that box sitting on our front porch. And the time had changed to about 45 minutes later after Jess made the phone call to FedEx to inquire about this missing package, this missed delivery. And I was like, well, you got home for lunch just after that. And she's like, there was no box here.
Yeah.
I said, okay. And our neighbor peeked out the window. We just contacted our neighbor, and our neighbor said, no, there's no box on the front porch. Because I was thinking, well, they redelivered it this morning.
Yeah.
Nope, no dice. So the box is just gone, but there's a picture of it clearly sitting on our front porch.
Yeah.
The same box that was under the carport. So I contact FedEx and I tell them, okay, something fishy's going on here. And she's like, well, this was delivered with FedEx or FedEx SurePost. So that means the post office delivered it to your house. And I'm like, okay. She's like, we can't initiate a claim. You need to call the postal service. Okay, no problem. I'll call the postal service.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing too. On the tracking information, it clearly states that it was FedEx ground, that it was not sent through the post office.
Yeah, it wasn't SurePost. It was FedEx ground. And so I called the postal service, the national line, and talked to this wonderful woman. I wish I could remember her name. She was fantastic. And I said, well, here's the tracking number. And so she goes, well, let me see if I can cross-reference this with one of our tracking numbers if it was sent SurePost. And she goes, no, I don't have it in my system. Let me look on FedEx's website. And she goes, there's a box on that porch. And I said, yeah. She goes, then we didn't deliver it. I said, how do you know? She said, we don't take pictures. We just drop it off and leave.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
she's honest.
Yeah. She's like, USPS doesn't take pictures of delivered packages. And I said, okay. She said, you need to call FedEx back. So at this point, somebody, I'm suspecting porch pirates at this point, or suspecting that, as has been the case around the Birmingham area with one or two FedEx drivers in recent memory, where packages have been just like thrown off into ditches. And there's been some rogue FedEx drivers around our city. And so I'm thinking, okay, she has just contacted, run the issue up the flagpole with FedEx. And during that time, maybe this driver got word that you made a boo-boo, fix this, and maybe just got mad and came out of spite, put the package on our porch, took the picture, and then took it back and made it disappear. I am so certain that's probably what happened, because we've never had an issue with porch pirates, especially within an hour of, us just returning to the house.
Yeah.
So I called FedEx back. I said, look, and they're like, look, this ain't us. This is SurePost. This is the post office. I'm like, look, the lady said they don't take pictures. This wasn't delivered by them. We're not doing anything. Thank you, FedEx. So I'm boiling. I mean, boiling at this point, because I'm like, we dropped a dime on this and we really want our stuff. Now it's about the principle of, why are we getting jerked around by FedEx?
Yeah.
So I called Spirit Halloween. I said, here's an issue. We and she said, let me look up your order number. And she's looking at it, and all of a sudden she goes, huh. I said, huh. She said, they didn't even deliver this to your town. And I'm like, well, there's a picture of it on our porch. She goes, yeah, but it wasn't delivered to your town. She said, tell you what, everything that you ordered is still in stock on our website. We're going to do a 2-day delivery to you. She goes, that's the good news. We don't mind replacing it. I said, you're wonderful. She said, here's the bad news. It's coming through FedEx. And I just went, oh, I said,
the Empire Strikes Back.
I was like, is there nothing you can do? She said, no, we're mandated to use FedEx. We have to use FedEx. We're so sorry.
Probably.
Yeah.
She said, but if it does not arrive, call us back. We'll send it again.
Well,
she said, I'm so sorry.
And and I think that they're aware that they've had several incidences with FedEx.
Yeah,
according to her conversation with Brock as well. Too.
Yeah, she made mention of. She goes, I'm so sorry. We have to use FedEx, and I'm like, I am too. But this time, instead of sending all the stuff in one box, they sent it in 3 smaller boxes. And I'm not going to say FedEx redeemed themselves, but they all 3 showed up.
But we got our stuff.
We got our
they
stuff.
did their job this time. Yeah. Okay.
They did their job. I think we got a disgruntled driver this past time who was just being a jerk, which has been the case with, like I said, local drivers lately for FedEx.
You probably got my disgruntled driver that used to deliver to my house, that he delighted himself in no matter the weight or the fragility of the package, he would just toss it end over end onto my front porch. He didn't care.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, we treat it like this in the in the facility. I'm going to do it on your front porch. It's like, I still kind of expect, even if you treat it poorly in your facility, I don't need to know that. Ignorance is bliss. You need to treat it with care, I would expect, while it's being delivered. So shortly after I made a complaint about this FedEx driver, he just disappeared.
Yeah, he may have shown up here.
Yeah, you may have my driver.
And the thing is we've had FedEx drivers recently, like I've been home and they've been delivering stuff, and it's always this one young guy, fantastic young man. Yeah. I mean, he and I have had conversations, and this isn't something he would do.
Right.
So they've had to switch drivers at some point, but so I took to X, Twitter, and started railing against, it's like, hey, I hope you're having a great day, except for you, FedEx, and kind of railed on them a little bit, and got a reply back from FedEx. I'm like, look, I said in my post, my tweet, whatever, don't at me with this. Don't reply. Just know you are horrible. And I got a reply, and I'm like, and I sent back, I'm like, hey, did you not hear me that I don't want you to try to resolve this when the people on your phone wouldn't resolve it? And then some guy enlightened me to, you're arguing with a bot.
Mhm.
And then I felt really good. But, FedEx, I don't know if anybody listening works for FedEx. Tell your higher ups to do a better job with hiring quality drivers. Just we're not asking for much. We don't want to open
our stuff. We
don't want to open claims. We don't want to badmouth you. But when you do stupid stuff, we're going to call you out.
Mm-hmm.
And Birmingham area FedEx drivers, come on. I mean, there was how many there was like thousands of dollars worth of merchandise just found dumped in a ditch where a FedEx driver had been near Birmingham that had been just tossing packages out the back. It's like, you made the news. We know you guys have an issue around Birmingham. Don't keep making it. So I don't know where
anybody listening that works for FedEx is probably going to be going, yeah.
They probably know, and they probably did nothing to do about it. Yeah. But anyway, that's our Fed Up with FedEx thing. And believe me, I'm a lot calmer in describing this than I was the day it was going on.
Oh, yes, he is.
You don't really grab my gear, FedEx.
Yeah. Yeah. So UPS, thank you for always. I've not had a problem with UPS. Well, outside of one of them did lose a package, misdelivered a package, and never got back with me about a claim. But the national office for FedEx did, and it got resolved. Mm-hmm. So no problems there. So FedEx, get better. UPS, thank you. Postal Service, thank you for getting rid of our other delivery guy from 2 years ago and giving us somebody competent. We haven't had an issue with the post office at all in a long time. So we're thankful. I want to say,
wouldn't DHL trying to get in on this around here too?
DHL, you'd be lucky to get your package in 3 weeks. Those guys are, from what I understand, are incredible for international delivery, but as soon as it gets local, you might as well throw in a ditch. I'm gonna get it.
Go ahead.
Random. I get something from them randomly ever so often when I order it.
There is I wish I could remember his name, but he sent like Apple AirTags through DHL. He was trying to send stuff to North Korea.
Oh yeah, that guy on YouTube.
And see if they could get tracked into North Korea, and he was using DHL exclusively for that. And he was going back and forth because things got lost. Things would sit at airports trying to get into North Korea, they get stuck in China or somewhere else. And so DHL just like, look, man, we're sorry. How would you like to come to a factory, one of our distribution centers, and we'll walk you through the entire process? They even let him sort some of the packages for DHL. I mean, it was a fantastic PR piece for DHL. He was sending stuff from Germany. I wish I could remember his name. It was a fantastic series of videos where he and DHL partnered, and they're like, we're sorry.
He was sending things from DHL from Germany, where DHL's based.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Yep, but they would want to PR that. Yes.
Yeah. But they did a good job, and it was a fascinating thing to watch. I mean, it was fascinating to watch the Apple AirTags try to get into North Korea, and it was a fantastic. I loved seeing the shipping process of how they do it. It was really cool. So it worked for me, I've never had a problem with DHL, and I have received a few things. Christina Chong that we, from Star Trek Strange New Worlds that we met at Dragon Con, I ordered her album from England, and it's a signed copy of the album. I still haven't gotten it. And I have no tracking information on it. They didn't offer me international tracking numbers. So $30 gone right now, as far as I know, unless it just shows up here one day. So that's our tracking stories.
Yeah.
Saying about the mail.
Hey, let's talk about a package that was delivered.
We want to do this now?
Go from a bad taste in the mouth to the good taste in the mouth.
Let's talk about a good delivery that made it to the house.
So
by USPS.
Yes. So if you like ASMR, we got it for you this time.
None of us have tried this yet.
Yeah. This is and we did share the boxes showing up from Golden Eagle. We did share those on our Instagram stories and Facebook posts and everything. And Golden Eagle did like it. So we have. Golden Eagle knows we exist. So anybody from Golden Eagle in the lovely area of Fayette, Alabama, thank you for the decades, almost a darn near a century now
Yeah.
of fantastic syrup and products. And we know this is going to be good. We know it is because all your products are good.
All right,
We're not
ready?
jonesing for a sponsorship, but we'll take it if you want to give
Okay.
it.
So we're
Here we
going
go.
now. All right.
All right, everybody, open your
These
Oh.
are
pecan pies.
the Golden
They
Eagle.
are so
Smell.
cute.
Ooh, that's a good smell.
I'm sorry for those of you listening.
Yeah.
and not
Yes, and
seeing.
no smell-o-vision.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, what a pretty!
Look at the shimmer on it. Look at
Oh,
that.
baby.
Oh my god.
Comes in its own little pan.
pie.
It's a little mini
Frisbee
pan.
far out.
And it comes
Yeah.
out solid. Look at that.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah, solid.
Absolutely.
Mm.
Oh, look at that. Just
You guys ready?
right up.
Yeah,
Here we
all
go.
right.
Golden Eagle pecan pies taste test. Here
All
we go.
right, we're dead air for just a few minutes.
Yeah, unless you want to smack.
Mm.
Mm. Oh baby.
Oh,
Oh baby.
there's
Oh.
the
It's
Golden
everything
Eagle.
I hoped it would be.
Yep, that lives up to the hype.
Oh,
Oh, we have done
Mm.
so good to have so much willpower. None of us have
Mhm.
opened these yet. And let me
Hide
tell
it
you,
for later.
in the beard.
God.
Man,
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, this is you taste the Golden Eagle syrup in it for sure. Golden Eagle, this is magnificent. I gotta take another
I
bite.
should have got a glass of milk.
yeah.
She needs some milk.
So with Golden Eagle had been hinting at this. The first thing they shared on their socials was they were mixing some Golden Eagle in with tons of butter. And I was like, I don't know. I don't care what it's going to be. Whatever
It's
they
gonna be
mix out
good.
of this, it's going to be insane. I mean, any Southerner knows.
Man.
It doesn't matter what it is. It can be made good with a bunch of butter.
Mhm.
Yeah. Not your arteries, but everything else.
Yeah. Depends on what you define as good.
Yeah.
We're
Look,
not even going to talk about
Tastes
It's not
good.
bad.
Good for you. Eh.
Nah.
310 calories.
Calories don't
Okay.
count. They don't count.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
310. There's your
Let's see.
calories.
We've got 37 grams of carbohydrate,
look, stop reading this
Nobody.
off.
17 grams of fat.
Who cares?
Nobody who eats
Yeah.
pecan pie is
Mm.
thinking about calories.
Well, I
Okay.
understand that. I was
see,
just,
they're- They're smart. They're dropping these out at this time of year when, pecan
Mhm.
pie is at
Yes.
its peak.
Well, the thing
Yes.
is, it takes they're a small facility. It takes a while for them to get these out. So
Man.
by the time Christmas hits, these things are going
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You're gonna have these things popping up, and you'll
Mm.
instead of your grandma making a nice pecan pie, she'll just have a whole bunch of these sitting out. And they're little
Hey.
bitty.
Grandma's waving the white flag. She's like, I can't beat Golden Eagle.
It's like a broken
fair,
drum.
though-
You can't beat it.
Anybody who knows.
Mm.
When I did this solo episode, I went through and showed that you can go and get this recipe. This same recipe that made these, you can get it off their
Yeah, it's
website and make it yourself.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's on the side of the bottles,
Mm-hmm.
the jars. Okay. Now
Yes,
that that's
very
been
good.
devoured.
Look at that. I mean,
Oh.
look at how shiny
You still have some left.
Yeah, we're done.
I've
We're
been
done.
talking.
Like that's awesome. I'm gonna have to
Oh.
I did eat 2 chicken tacos and beans and rice before.
Well, there's your dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you,
Mm.
that's one of the best pecan pies I've ever had.
Yes,
And I'm not-
definitely.
They are not sponsoring us. Golden Eagle is not
Yeah.
sponsoring us. We're doing this of our own. We paid for this.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this of our own free will.
Yes.
And believe me, it is our own free will that we will
Yeah.
continue to eat these.
Yeah, eat,
This is
I would
fantastic.
be perfectly comfortable in saying there really isn't a better way to make a pecan pie.
Mm-mm.
I got to get one of these to my dad. He'll love
Yeah, we
this.
got. Yeah, we'll get him a couple.
Yeah.
One for him
Yeah,
and one
these
for your
are-
son.
I want to throw one of these like in the oven or air fryer and warm it up and get it a little warm.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay, we're in a new month. That means new paydays. That means we can buy another box.
I really do need something to drink though.
All right, go ahead,
Golden Eagle
be right back.
subscription box.
There you go.
dude. I would cancel all my Patreon subscriptions just for that.
I hope this does well because like I could see like the way this is packaged, this could be something you could probably buy at Sam's
Oh yeah.
like this and buy a case at Sam's, and I would graciously buy one.
Well, and when they come in a box of 12,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes out to be $2.50 a piece.
Yeah.
Hey, honey, can you grab the box?
The
Please
box
grab. Yeah.
and Brock will show us. The Brock is like the box is like a self display, so you can actually open and fold up the lid, and you can just sit it out and display it.
Thank you. Yeah, for those on YouTube, here's the box it comes in. So, crack this thing open, and there they are. Look at we
Nice.
have more to eat. I'm so happy.
We promise. Again, we promise. We're not sponsored by these.
We're not sponsored at all.
No, yeah, this
is an Alabama legendary company.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can flip it up into the come on, perforated edges.
Make like a little display there.
I'm trying.
Brock needs him a box cutter.
There it is, right there. So I'm not going to do that now, but yeah, you can. Anyway, you can pop it up and put the lid down at the bottom there, and it'll stick up as a display.
I'm sure eventually, hopefully soon, we'll see those in our grocery store and convenience stores near us.
Yeah, right now they're making their way through Piggly Wiggly, from what I understand. We're not sponsored. We're open to it.
Yes.
But you know what? Even if that doesn't happen, we don't mind being your shill.
Yeah, no.
we are shields for.
We are shills for Golden Eagle.
Yeah, Golden Eagle is in our DNA from as much as we've enjoyed our many years on the earth.
That's right.
Of course, I'm looking at this and going, all right, well, number one, I'm on vacation. I don't care. But number two, I'm like, when I get home, I still have a bunch of these left. It was like 310 calories. Do you know how long that is in the gym?
Well, who cares?
When it comes to Golden Eagles, I
Who
don't.
cares? So yeah, this company's been around since 1928. So they are 5 years shy of their century, or their centennial.
Oh yeah.
So, you know what? If we're still going in 5 years, we're going to celebrate with them.
Yeah.
I want to go down there and have a factory tour or something.
Let's go and sit in their parking lot and just eat all these. You know, hey, do they sell flags on the website? Because we'll do like every other proud Southerner with a truck and go put a giant Golden Eagle.
You know
flag
what?
on the
That's a.
Vote for the Beatles.
Yeah. In this house, we kneel for the flag, right? No. Stand for the flag. Excuse me. My apologies.
They roll tide anymore. We say Golden Eagle.
Yeah. It's not War Eagle, it's Golden Eagle. So that is fantastic. And
bravo.
Just know that we, like I said, we are not sponsored. We're not paid by them. We spend our hard-earned money on this, and we are happy to, because they are an Alabama original.
That's right.
And they're fantastic. So if you live within Alabama, do yourself a favor. Try to find those. If you don't live in Alabama, Golden Eagle is it's not goldeneagle.com. What it is,
I don't even say GoldenEagleSyrup.com.
GoldenEagleSyrup.com. Go order a box of these. You will not regret it. I promise you, you will not.
I would be willing to bet that Jess would barter a box of these for one of those green slime cups.
Yeah, I'll trade a box for them. By the way, and just so with they got the logo on the back of Whaley Pecans, which is another Alabama business. So we love Alabama. We love our state. You know, a lot of people like to poke at us, but we are very happy and loving of our state, and we want to give everybody anything local. We want to try to help. And so Whaley Pecan Company, is out of Troy. Is that right?
That's Troy.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is in my neck of the woods where I'm originally from, and Golden Eagle, which is just above us. It's just above Tuscaloosa and that area.
Fayette County.
Yep. So that's your free plug. We have no shame.
Yeah.
We have pride. We have no shame.
You guys can poke fun at us all you want. We're fine with it. You know, thank God there's Mississippi. That's our thing. You know, you can poke fun at us all you want, but we got better syrup than you do.
That needs to be on this. That needs to be on the welcome sign on the state. We have better syrup than you do. I like that.
See, because around as you're coming into the state everywhere, there are all the signs that say "Sweet Home Alabama."
Yeah.
That's what it should be. We have better syrup than you.
That Sweet Home
We have-
Alabama. We didn't tell you what the sweet part was about. It's our syrup.
We have better syrup than you, and we know it.
Better syrup, baby.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's the free the free
Yes.
plug spot for the podcast.
Gosh. That's so
Granted,
good.
we've been doing that the last 2 or 3 episodes.
You know what sucks? I got to finish the rest of my vacation and go back home before I can have another one of those.
Oh,
I would overnight it to you, but if I can get there in time,
yeah.
It'll
so
be all right. We love you, Golden Eagle. That's awesome.
Yes.
are you still eating yours?
She had to get the glass of milk.
No, she got up and got another one.
Yeah.
I'm savoring
So
it.
I dropped
There you
2
go.
off. I dropped 2 off in your mailbox, but what you do with the second one?
It's still sitting up there. I may share that with the wife and kiddo. May.
Half each,
Yeah.
or cut it into thirds so you can get another
Yeah,
bite.
Yes. Nah, that's, I wouldn't do them like that, but no, that's awesome. I guess no, it's in there. I appreciate the more than one. I was like,
Yeah, I figured. You know what? I can drop another one by.
you're good. Nice. I need to break down and order me some. I want to support the cause. I guess that's
You're like a drug dealer.
yeah. No, yeah.
It's like the guy standing on the corner with the trench
Yeah.
coat, and he opens
Yeah.
it up with like watches and stuff. We just got Golden Eagles.
Yeah, God pies. We got all your Alabama stuff. We got the Golden Eagle. We got the Lays. I know.
Golden Flake, Golden
know-
Eagle.
We can't say Golden Flake anymore because they're
I
not
know.
made in Alabama.
Yeah, I know a guy that makes the barber's French dip that apparently people want.
Psst, I got what y'all need.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh well, that's a nice way
Yeah.
to get out of the FedEx. Hey,
Yeah.
so well, if you as we settle back in and relax now, pure
Talk
happiness.
about geeky stuff, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's talk about some really happy things that happened last weekend, which is a week and a half ago now.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear this episode when it first drops, Alabama Comic-Con was at the BJCC
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And I want to Humble Enterprises is the company that puts this on.
Mm-hmm.
I got to brag on those guys too. They put on a fantastic event.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun. They've done it here for a couple of years now. I think they were part of another company before they splintered off. They did such a wonderful job. We got there Saturday morning. We had signed up, as everybody knows, that if you're a regular listener, that Jess and I have just now getting into Dungeons and Dragons. The 2 guys there, one named John Mark, one named Tan.
Mm-hmm.
Tan was our dungeon master for the session. They gave 2-hour classes in session, 2-hour sessions of classes for beginners like us who
Mhm.
don't know diddly about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And so we went through our first real campaign
Mhm.
there, and man, they were patient with us. Tan was as a first grade teacher.
Yes.
And he's like, I'm so used to teaching kids. And I'm like, guess what? We have the experience level of kids with
That's
this
right.
stuff.
We
We're
are-
perfect for you.
We are on the first grade level as it comes to this, so no worries there.
Yeah. So
He said he's kind of a little nervous because he'd never really taught adults before. He's like Brock said.
and he teaches online.
Mhm.
He does online campaigns with
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. But he did a fantastic job. He made it so much fun. He was patient with our questions and the mechanics, getting used to it.
Yeah.
And John Mark, he jumped in. He was also one of the dungeon masters, but at our session, it was basically us and another young lady
Mhm.
who were there. So he jumped in and played with us.
Yeah.
So we could have a good sizable party. And it was so much fun. Man,
And as we
how have
were-
we gone this long without playing it?
Yeah, and as we were, like I said, ahead of the con, there was an online sign up, as Brock was saying, to attend the sessions they had laid out during the day. So we, like Brock said, we went to the very first one they had on Saturday. And while we were there, people that were coming into the con were hearing about the Dungeons and Dragons thing going on. So there was people, popping in and, they said, well, you're welcome to, we already got this campaign in progress. I mean, you're welcome to join us, but we've got, other sessions throughout the day. So I hope that the people that had inquired that morning came back, because, I was really happy for those guys that it really took off like it did for them.
Their noon or the 2:00 session that was completely full.
I think their 2 to 4 was booked.
Yeah. So they had dual that John Mark was running one campaign and Tan was running the other.
Yeah.
But I just have to brag on those guys. They were fantastic. They were patient with us, and we appreciate them teaching us.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to be able to dive into our own campaign again. But hopefully, and we've got some other friends who are showing interest in maybe getting together a local group, which will be great. After May, it'll be perfect. So just kudos to those guys.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure we thank them publicly, and Humble Entertainment or Humble Enterprises for putting on such a great con. They brought Giancarlo Esposito. We finally got to meet the man.
Yes.
I did not get a chance to do my pose from Far Cry 6 with him, Bo.
Oh.
But that's because he had a line out the
Oh,
yin
I'm
yang.
sure. He was a star guest.
He had a line, and I didn't want Jess to not be a part of that. And that's a 2-person pose. So I wanted to make sure that Jess got in there. So we just did a standard pose with him.
Yeah.
But he signed my stand on the back, my Darksaber stand from the Mandalorian. And so he signed it in gold ink on that black metallic. It looks sharp.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks good.
And he did great. And Brock says he said he's good at signing small spaces, because he has signed box cutters for people in the past.
Yeah, I mean, like this size. Yeah, because Gus Fring, he signs box cutters. So
that's funny.
If you know Breaking Bad, you know why.
But what a
gentleman.
Gentleman. I mean, he really is. And just very, very just soft spoken and just very gentle and fantastic to finally meet him in person.
It was a treat. It was a massive treat to finally get a chance to meet him. And even though his line, was long the entire time, I mean, he took a few minutes with people, but it still moved really well.
Yeah.
But then we also, a lot of wrestlers were there. Kevin Hall was there. Kevin Nash. Hall and Nash. I was thinking Scott Hall too.
Yeah.
Hall and Nash. Kevin Nash was there. We didn't get a chance to speak to him.
And I think
Sting was there for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sting, he only had a short window to be there, and he was taking the people that had pre-ordered first, and then they were going to get to the people that were in line. So I don't know if we
never saw him.
I never got to over there to where he was, so I don't know how that line went and if anybody got left out. But honestly, we saw Sting at Dragon Con, and you met him a couple of years ago when he came, but if I'm going to meet Sting, I really honestly would like to meet the black and white.
Yeah, he did do the red face paint this time.
Yeah. I was never, it was kind of like off WCW when the whole, the red and black and the black and white, the NWO and the Wolfpack and all that split. I mean, I'm have knowledge of it, but I was kind of off of it at that point, but
it was good. He did the red and black, which is good if you got like a photo op with him.
Yeah.
That one with him, because Nash was wearing a red and black NWO shirt that same day too. So
yeah.
If I could have worked it in, I would have worn my red and black Ruckus NWO Ghostbuster shirt. But
yeah. Well, and after we had finished at Giancarlo's table, the other guest that we noticed that had a significant line was Doug Jones, of course. But by the time we had finished with Giancarlo, Doug had broken away. He had panel, and it was getting into the lunchtime, which we always tend to find ourselves waiting at celebrity tables during lunchtime. But like when we first walked up, we went to Giancarlo's table, and we looked over, and there's Danhausen like right next to him. Nice. And the aisle splits. You've got Giancarlo here, and Danhausen was like right next to him on the other side.
Right across from the aisle.
Yeah. So there was nobody in line, but we got pulled away to actually talk to somebody that we knew that was in Giancarlo's line. So he let us jump on in there with him. So we we went ahead and made that rounds. Well, we finished Giancarlo. Doug was gone. We walked over and Danhausen was gone, but the lady at the table says, "Oh, like 10 minutes." And we were like, "Okay." Well, it was longer than 10 minutes. So
Danhausen went to eat.
yeah, he went to eat.
He's very hungry.
Yeah. But
Very nice, very hungry.
Yeah.
While we were standing there, though, Ruby Soho was next to him, and just down from her was DDP, and he was a
Mhm.
treat to watch while we were standing in line. His interactions with people, he was even doing some yoga stuff
Yeah,
and
of course.
everything, while he was standing there. So
You said he lifted his leg up to his foot up to his head.
yeah, he did something where he's taking his leg and like holding it up, and
Right.
yeah. So I was like, I don't know what's going on down there, but he sure is having fun. So he is having a blast. But when Danhausen did come back from lunch, when we saw him walking back, he was walking with Mick Foley, and those two were just chatting. I was like, "Well,
They walked right through our line.
yeah." I was like, "Well, isn't
Mick's
that
like, "Hey,
just
how
a
y'all
pair?"
doing?"
So got to meet Danhausen again, second time this year. It's been awesome because I'd always hoped that he was going to do cons in the area. We got to go meet Danhausen, and been fortunate enough to have him get to meet him twice in 1 year. He remembered us from Huntsville. I
Awesome.
think one thing that kind of really brought it back was Brock was wearing his ALGB shirt. So he's like, "Yeah, we made sure to Huntsville." He goes, "Oh yeah, I got the patch." So we kind of had that reconnection there. And he says, "And you have the figure this time for me to sign." So
And how do you know Danhausen is a toy collector?
how do I know he is?
How do you know?
Because when he signed it, he kept saying, "Just be careful. Don't make sure you don't close it because that will smudge the signature."
Yeah.
He knows.
He's like, leave this open for 10 minutes. The flap on front of the figure. Don't move this for 10 minutes. Don't touch it. Let the paint dry.
Yeah.
And you're good to go.
I meant to ask, how did he look from when we saw him in April? He looking more healed from his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
He wasn't wearing a sling. In fact, I said, how's your arm doing? He said, my arm's a lot better. He said, hopefully soon will be back.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good.
Yeah. Been missing to seeing him on TV, but
Yep.
he's
And speaking of Danhausen, just as a quick sidebar, his DLC in
Yeah, dropped
AEW Fight Forever dropped a couple of days ago, and so we played a couple of matches with him.
Nice.
And I tried to do the curse. He leaned back, and the screen lit up with the glowing purple skulls, and the curse went back on him and knocked him
Yeah.
silly. I'm like, oh, great!
yeah.
He cursed himself.
But I was also happy to give him a little care package because I like to do things like that because it just makes it all the better
Yeah.
for that interaction. So I got him some mini Oreos, and I got him a thing of Sour Patch Kids, and I gave him a McDonald's gift card because he loves McDonald's, and you can't really bring food into the convention. So I was like, hey, while you're out traveling, I hope you can have some. I can treat you to a McDonald's somewhere.
And apparently, the next day you might have.
I think I did. I think it was Sunday when he was leaving town. He had posted an Instagram story of being at McDonald's. I was like, I hope he's cashing in that gift card. Because he also, while he was in town from Birmingham, Sloss Fest was going on. So he was able to attend the Sloss Fest on Saturday night.
Yeah, he posted a picture
videos.
of the furnaces. I am at a furnace.
So another great interaction with him. Always love meeting him whenever we get the chance. And then we spent a lot of time in line. The majority of our time spent at Alabama Comic Con was in lines or waiting.
Yep.
And just because we hit them at the wrong times, that's
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
on us.
Well, when we left Danhausen, we figured we're going to go ahead and go get in Doug Jones' line. And he had already been gone for probably about an hour at this point. And we got in line. And Doug showed up. His line started moving. And then we got right up to where we were about to pay. And he had to break away for his photo op. So we were left waiting for not as long. It was just the photo op. So it moved pretty fast. But he came back. And now we understand why it took as long as it did to get to Doug Jones. Guys, let me tell you something. This man is an absolute delight. He was wonderful. We get to him finally. And, hi, Doug. And he's like, hi, and your name is? And I introduced myself. And he says, you are gorgeous. So I was like, oh, thank you. You know, so and he was like, he's like, is this the lucky gentleman here beside you? So Brock introduced himself, and I mean, the man, I was like, I felt like, are we supposed to be standing here this long talking? But
He took probably 10 minutes with us.
yeah,
That's awesome.
he's an awesome person to meet, and was not disappointed at all with this. We took 3 really great pictures with him, and yeah.
And for those who don't know Doug Jones, shame on you, first of all.
Yeah.
He's been in everything. He's
Stuff you probably don't even realize that he's been in.
He's the alien thing from In the Shape of Water. He was Abe Sapien in Hellboy.
Mhm.
Yep.
He is the Baron in What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He's been Men in Black 2. He's Joey in the post office with
That
the
takes
long.
he looks like the Ramon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takes the wig off and the glasses, and he's bald.
He's also
Anytime
Billy.
you see a really good costumed person that generally is he's usually very good and eloquent with his hands.
Mhm.
That's almost always going to be Doug Jones.
Yeah.
Saru, Captain Saru in Star Trek Discovery.
I'd say he did also a couple of things in a couple of Guillermo del Toro's movies.
Yes.
I would say,
Very
what is the movie with the
Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Pan's Labyrinth. And also, like I said, Billy in Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
So he was also the Mac Tonight, the McDonald's
Yeah.
Yes,
commercial.
Mac Tonight. Yes.
Yeah.
And he did have 8x10s of that
Yeah.
to
Nice.
sign.
That's great.
Actually, one guy walked by in a Mac Tonight costume.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
He had the
That
big
guy's at
phone.
least 40 years old, I'm sure.
He was a kid. He was
What?
a kid.
That's
What did
even
Doug Jones say about it?
We didn't.
I
hear
don't
him.
know.
But
Oh,
he
God.
walked past us in the line. Apparently, he'd already met Doug, but yeah, he had walked past us. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy smokes, there's a Mac Tonight.
That is early Doug Jones too.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
early.
That's one of his first gigs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow.
if you ever have a chance to meet him, I highly recommend you do so.
One of I can recall just a handful of interactions I've ever had with celebrities that have just been top notch, and Doug is up there at the top,
Yeah, everyone
hands down.
I walked away from that table just feeling so like joyous and lighthearted, and just felt amazing walking off from
And
that.
he did
Could you
3 different
imagine working
poses.
with him on set though? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
oh wow.
He is a kind man. He is a sweet man, just a gentle soul,
Yeah.
and
Gives the best hugs too.
he gives hugs, and they are quality hugs. I know you're like, how's this different? No, you don't understand.
No.
Like he slowly puts his arms around you and just squeezes you. I mean, he's hug master,
Nice.
and it was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you can wrap your arms around him twice, but because he's a thin man, best hugs. And I hope he comes back. He's like, this is the first time I've been in Birmingham, and we have a former senator named Doug Jones, and former Senator Jones on his X account, Twitter account, whatever, said, there's somebody who always is impersonating me, Doug Jones. And all of a sudden Doug Jones, the actor, walked into the shot and he goes, I'm not impersonating you. I'm Doug Jones. And so they got to do an interaction while he was here in Birmingham.
Wow.
That's awesome.
It was funny.
It's a really good video. If you get a chance to check that out, do so.
Y'all are like the fourth or fifth people I've known to meet Doug, and I've heard nothing but wonderful stories.
Yeah.
Well, he's of course the friend of the podcast that we've had on here, Robin Shelby.
Mm-hmm.
He's good friends with Robin and Sean, and so I was texting Robin while we were online and said, "Hey, we're in," because Robin's convention agent was walking by, and I took a picture of him. I said, "Hey, guess who's here?" And she's like, "Who are you in line for?" And I said, "We're in line for Doug." And she goes, "Please tell him I said hi." And so we got up to Doug, and I finally got the chance to say, "Oh, by the way, Robin Shelby says hello." And he goes, "Oh my gosh, I love Robin. How is she?" And I said, "She's doing good. She's right here on the phone." And yeah. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, those were the 3 guests that we met for the convention. There were more that I wouldn't have minded meeting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have minded. But our feet were kind of hurting by that point, being aligned so much. So we went over and we walked through the dealer area to see if anything was worthwhile, and a lot of good stuff. A lot of vendors were really good this year. We didn't pick up anything. But then we went and sat with our beloved Alabama Ghostbusters.
That had a great setup at the con. And
Yeah, Brian Maddox is primarily responsible for that, and it was like a double wide booth space. I mean, they gave us a huge space, and Brian did a really fantastic job of decorating that and everything. And of course, Shane and Leanne and Caitlin, and then Brian's family were all there, so we got to spend a lot of good quality time with them. And it just, I mean, they're our family too. They're our Alabama Ghostbusters family.
Yeah,
Leanne and Jason Mott. And so it just always love hanging out with them, and it was a good. It's been a while since I've seen. I don't think I've seen Brian since last year.
Since we went, probably since last year.
Yeah, so it's good to see them. They did a wonderful job, and appreciate all of them. And our friend Roberto Suarez, back in 2017, I was going through a little bit of a life change and was having to, sell my old house and everything else. And so I didn't have anywhere to put Veronica. Well, who's Veronica? Veronica is my proton pack that I built back in 2011. She's the only one I've ever built. And I didn't have any place to stick her because I was selling the house and everything. So Roberto graciously, he graciously has been babysitting my proton pack, my Ghostbusters proton pack now for 6 years. Yeah. And so he's like, "Hey, I'm going to be coming up there for the day. Do you want me to bring her to you?" And I went, "You know what? It's time. It's time to be reunited." Oh, there she is. If you're watching on YouTube, that's my proton pack that I built all by myself. There she is. My pasty white legs. But yeah, well, not all by myself. A friend, Todd Campbell, helped me get started. But after that, I took over and built my pack myself. But yeah, that's Veronica. I have not seen my pack in ages, and now she's sitting right across the way from Jess.
She's right here next.
She's over there next to my HasLab pack.
All 250 pounds of her.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, there's Happy Brock. I am happily reunited with my baby. So Veronica's here, and because she does weigh a metric ton, Veronica will not adorn my back again.
That's fair.
I wore her out of the BJCC, and I got her to the trunk, and I'm like, "Baby, we done. we are so done. I'm 6 years older than the last time I put it on." So, but yeah, so I got my proton pack back, and we're gonna. I know Kevin and I are going to get together and do some work. He's got some proton pack stuff that he wants to work on, and I got I got a proton pack that a couple of them that I want to 3D print, make much lighter, especially for my old age. And I need to make a 3/4 size one, 3D printed one for Jess, because she's short.
Yeah, and I did have a chance to finally put on a heavy proton pack
for the first time ever. She got to see Veronica in person, and then she's like, "Try it on." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I'm surprised she didn't go backwards.
I was bracing myself. You
Yeah.
know, it was like I was just ready, and he let go. He strapped it on and let go, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Like, now I see why she's being retired. She's heavy. She's got a lot of aluminum in her and some other metal parts and all.
She's
fiberglass.
She's thick.
Is she a thick girl? So yeah, but glad to have her. I'm so happy to have her back. I don't have a place on the wall. Like when in my old house, I had her hanging on. I had a 2x4 that I painted as caution stripes with two, bike hooks. And I had them drilled into studs, and I don't have wall space here. So I've got to get a guitar stand. Right now, she's just laying on the floor going, "Help me."
Yeah.
But that's my pride and joy. She is signed by Ernie Hudson, and she's signed by Robin, has signed her. And she's also signed. I've never publicly revealed where the name Veronica came from. I don't know if any of you tech nerds remember a show called Techzilla or
Yes.
Mahalo was a service. Anyway, she's a former tech host, and she's done so many other things. I don't think she does any tech show hosting anymore, but there's a podcast called The Sword and Laser. I think she still hosts. Her name is Veronica Belmont. And I guess while I'm talking, I'll try to find the picture of Veronica at the time. I was just not, crush or anything like that. I really liked her work. She was funny. She was very, very funny. And
Veronica Belmont's very easy to crush on. She's incredible.
She's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. No shame in that, man.
No, but it's been a while since I remember her hosting anything. But I used to watch her and Patrick Norton and Tom Merritt. They used to host all these shows. And really quickly, I'm going to pull this up. Well, Veronica used to come to Dragon Con, and every year I would make it a point just to go say hi, and to the point where she remembered me. And because she was a big old, just a big nerd like me, and became I won't say became a friend, because I haven't spoken to her since years ago, but became somebody that I would always see at Dragon Con and talk with. Golly, I'm going to find this, guys. I promise. I'm killing air right now to find it. But I named my pack after Veronica Belmont. And so was it 2014, 2014? I'm going to,
I did find out that she currently works for Adobe.
She does work for Adobe.
Mm-hmm.
I've been keeping track of her, not in a stalkerish manner, mind you. But
so revealing, Brock. So revealing.
It is no, because she was one of my favorite tech personalities and gaming personalities. Golly, I am thoroughly embarrassed that I'm taking this long to find it. Was it 20? I just looked at my 2014. Maybe it was 2013,
2012 or 2013, because it was one of the first few years I started doing the full week of Dragon Con.
Yeah. And there's a reason I'm trying to find this picture.
I believe I took the picture. I think I was with you.
You did.
Yes.
You did. So anyway, this is the most interesting podcast y'all have heard.
Pre-preparation is.
We're coming down off the sugar high of the pies.
Yeah, the pie is. You know what? Let me just do a search on my profile. Sure. There's the picture. As soon as that first thing that popped up.
Oh yeah.
Of course. So this is. Yeah, I don't know what year was this. This was, oh golly, 2011. Okay. I was looking in the wrong year completely. This is why I had Veronica sign the pack. A, it's named after her. B,
I remember this.
B, I got her to wear it. So this photo right there, if you're looking on YouTube, of course, that's me, that's Veronica, and that's Tom Merritt, her podcast host for The Sword and Laser, who was also, I don't know if he still does Twit with Leo Laporte. I have not watched that tech show in years, but yeah, that's in 2011 DragonCon. Bo did take that picture, but that is right after I built the Proton pack, named it after her, and she wore it. She happily wore it, and then she told me as we were leaving, she's like, make sure you email me this picture. I really want it. And so I got in touch with her over email and went back and forth with her a few times, and she got the picture. So anyway, that's why she's named Veronica. And that's my first public admission of that, for reasons. I'm not going to say the reason why. Not publicly.
Yeah.
I got a little.
Just stop talking. You're making it creepy. Okay.
Isn't it horrible? So anyway. Well, I told y'all we'd go on tangents.
There we go.
So
what other geeky stuff do we got we can talk about?
Boy, I don't know what kind of show we all been watching. Not Bo, but
it's always me.
Womp womp. Hang on, Bo.
There's only one episode left anyway.
Well, see, that's why I was waiting to ingest it all at one time because, like I said, I'm still not as I didn't get invested into Rebels and all that stuff as a lot of people have. Which
Of
Well,
course.
I'll be
we
there.
weren't either, but
We're
we've been able to kind of follow along and
yeah, Jess and I have never seen Rebels and don't really know if we ever will.
But
But
what are we talking about?
what show is on that's
we're
based
talking
off
about
Rebels?
Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as of this episode, as of the recording of this episode, we're awaiting the final episode of Ahsoka. And by the time you guys hear this, most likely, unless you're Patreon,
Well, yeah.
it will probably have already aired.
Yeah.
It airs on Tuesday nights. So
Hey,
yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the season finale. I know
Yeah.
we will.
Yeah, and then at that point, maybe we'll go back and watch them all.
oh yeah,
So but Bo has given us his blessing. We can talk about this a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
So just a little bit of a warning. This is going to be spoilery. We're going to talk about spoilery things. So if you don't want to listen, this is one of the reasons we kept this at the end of the show. So
Mhm.
we will not feel bad if you drop off at this point. So with that said, what's going on, guys? How have you guys been feeling about the show?
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
I think the space wells have been. I thought those were really neat. In being able to make the connection happen. I'm looking
Mhm.
forward to. Is that the same voice actor that does Thrawn? Is the actor?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. He's the same one that did it in Rebels. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
That
He
is,
is.
you guys know that is Lars Mikkelsen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is Mads Mikkelsen's brother.
Right.
Yeah. You can see the resemblance.
Very
Mhm.
much so. Yeah.
Yeah. I love his demeanor. I can see why you like him so much.
Mhm.
He's very laid back, but
Mhm.
don't mess with me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Loving Thrawn.
If he's anything like he was in any of the Thrawn, any of the Timothy Zahn books, we like Heir to the Empire. We've heard him say Heir to the Empire, Heir to the Empire. We've heard him say it several times now, and it's a
Mhm.
very clear connection to Thrawn's intro into now. Well, now it's Legends, but they're very clearly pulling from that. So they're, my prediction is going to be that, and this is without us knowing anything about the last episode, right? Is that at the end of this, Ahsoka and the team, they're not going to immediately get back. It's going to be Thrawn and everyone leaves and they go back to the normal galaxy. Ahsoka and them, they're stuck there because, think of it, the Purgles, which are the space wolves,
Mm-hmm.
they just literally came to the planet and got hit by space mines.
Yeah.
They're not going to want to come back for a little bit, right? So they're going to have to figure out another way to get back or a way to get the Purgles to come back. And I don't know if it's going to be that easy. So I think that we may spend some time where Ahsoka and team are trying to figure out how to stop Balin from doing whatever he was going to do with this power that he's seeking. And then in the meanwhile, Thrawn is going to be wreaking havoc in the base galaxy. And by the time Ahsoka gets back, it's going to be rough. So I honestly think that next season they're going to be separated. Ahsoka and them won't be back, and that Thrawn will be there doing basically what he did in the original Heir to the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar.
Did Ezra have a beard in the show in Rebels?
No.
No,
Okay, so
but
this is a new
the
thing.
really cool thing is that someone that actually because the thing is Rebels ended with Thrawn and Ezra being pulled away by Purgles. That's the reason that his Star Destroyer is so damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
tore it up, right? So Ezra's been there for a while, and someone actually did a rendering of what they felt like Ezra would look like in any other galaxy, and the resemblance to that rendering is uncanny.
Mm.
And this was done like 6 years ago.
Neat.
Yeah, so like he pulled it back up. He's like, I did this rendering like 6 years ago, and he put that side by side with what Ezra actually looks like in the show, and it's like it's 1-to-1.
Huh.
It looks so good. And the actor they got to play Ezra, he's going to do a phenomenal job. He already is. He's got the same mannerisms. He's got the same facial tics. This guy definitely watched Rebels. I don't even think the way that I've seen him talk, and they're pretty tight-lipped about their roles, but he looks like he was probably a fan of the show as well, which is that's not a tough thing. Rebels was really good in my opinion. It was one of the better shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my prediction. I mean, it may or may not come true, but I kind of feel like Thrawn's going to get back and he's going to start causing havoc. They've already kind of given us a little bit of a lead into that with Hera saying we should probably prepare for the worst and hope for the best. This is probably about to get bad. And yeah, Thrawn has a plan. He always has a plan. The guy, one of the reasons that he's so dangerous is that whereas the Emperor would use the Force and would his whole thing, he would like to build big weapons and command and oppress. Thrawn doesn't have to do that. He just has to know your psychological weakness.
Yeah.
He manipulates the psychological weaknesses.
I was gonna say he definitely plays the more of the psychological aspects. Yeah, I agree with you on that. And so, and in the books that
Timothy Zahn wrote to kind of tie him in, Thrawn had a lot of interaction with Anakin Skywalker, and he actually had a lot of interaction with Darth Vader, so he knows what happened. One of the few people that know what happened. So when he saw, that he was her master, he was like, "Oh, I know how she is." There's no, he wouldn't have taken on a Padawan that wouldn't have been like him. So we just sit back and wait, and she'll reveal herself.
Yeah.
So this is going to be. I honestly think this is going to be the next season is going to be incredible. And the thing to remember about this is, all of this is leading up to a movie. There will be.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dave's going to be making a movie. Yeah.
I think it's going to be 2 seasons and then probably a movie at that point.
Cool.
People were thinking the movie could potentially be like 10 years down the road. I don't think Disney's not that patient about this kind of stuff. I think that they're going to want the movie as quick as possible.
It's been great seeing Hayden Christensen back in this.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for you to see that, dude.
Oh, yeah. That was one of the things social media spoiled me on quickly.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't even in this last episode.
Yeah. I was surprised to see him back for this one.
Yeah. Did social media spoil anything else for you about this last episode, Bo? Another particular cameo that popped in?
No, I'm trying to think. The only other thing I know is either the...
Really?
I'm trying to you may have said something that I hadn't paid attention.
Oh, that cameo.
Yeah, you know what cameo.
Yeah.
That was pleasant.
Yes.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that then.
No,
you need to see that because it'll blow you away. I had no idea. I was like, okay.
That's why I didn't want to say anything for Bo, and then just so happened to, in fact, anyone else because it's
towards the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, and being a Star Wars fan, this particular cameo and a mention.
Oh yeah, no.
Mention that happened.
I've had this one spoiled. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this particular cameo coming back in, and then the mention of someone else in conversation was like, oh,
yeah,
kind of tugs at your Star Wars heart. So
yeah, it was good, and I'll be upfront. I had it spoiled for me before I saw the episode.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's impossible.
I had it spoiled by the person playing it.
Oh, okay.
I was like, really? You had to mention it already? And so I knew he was coming.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I think in Ahsoka, one of the rising stars of the rising villains, that the real villain of this isn't Thrawn, it's Senator Ziono.
I don't like that dude.
That guy is evil.
I want to punch that guy in the face.
And I mean, he's just, I mean, it's almost like borderline obvious the dude's an Imperial instigator, because he's like, Imperial remnant. Well, I don't know anything about that. Why It's just kind of crazy. I don't get it. And the thing is me coming from reading the original Thrawn books, the Heir of the Empire, there was another senator that was a Bothan. You hear Bothans mentioned in the original trilogy. We've never really seen any. We still haven't seen any in live action, but his name was Borsk. I'm going to like totally kill his name, but it's Borsk Falea, and he was a senator that is very much this guy, just like him. I'm like, they just cast this guy as that changed the name and said he's going to be that political antagonist that we need. And this dude is he's not going anywhere. He's going to be. I guarantee you, this guy's going to be in everything post, like in the Mandoverse with Thrawn involved. He's going to be in this everything. We're going to see this guy for a long time because it's going to get to the point where we're like, this guy is like Joffrey from Game of Thrones. We're going to freaking hate this guy.
There you go. So, Balin.
Yep.
How in the world are they going to have him in season 2? Or
I'll give you a good suggestion of a recast that someone brought up that I thought would be amazing. First off, he's going to find a power that even I believe that the witches, like I don't know if they would call Dathomirian witches, but that they're running from. He's going to find a power that even that they appear to be running from because it's so bad and it's so corrupt. That's what's calling to him. We know that Ray Stevenson passed away, right? So he won't be coming back in season 2, but it seems like his part to play isn't over yet. I don't think he's just going to just disappear. Someone actually suggested that what's his name? Liev Schreiber?
Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber be recast as him. He has the presence, the look. If he grew his hair out, I think he could pull it off. Especially, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with his health because he was filming something after this when he made his untimely demise. But as the season has progressed, his face has become darker and darker and darker as the season has progressed. I've seen his eyes; he's gotten darker. Something's affecting him and pulling on him, and I feel like that's what we're going to run into potentially next season. And as I said earlier, I think that's he's going to be the primary antagonist for our band of rebels in the next season, I believe. So that part's going to be really important, unless they decide to change the story because they don't have Ray Stevenson anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think so.
He's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I have loved him. It's been throwing me off. His demeanor has been. Is he going to go good? But you're saying not.
Oh no. If you look at the cover of Heir to the Empire, there was a mad clone of a former Jedi Master called Jorsh Kaboth that was manipulated by Thrawn to basically help him command and coordinate his troops from a distance. He could use like a battle meditation, which is supposedly what the Emperor used to maintain his control over the Empire. That's not a thing now, at least not yet. But we're kind of feeling like maybe that part in another way is being filled by this character. Like the Mad Jedi will be this Jedi, which is the Dark Jedi, but this Jedi, once he actually gets to this power source and it corrupts him. Because whatever this is, he has like a mad thirst for it. He's just like, you know what, Shin, you're cool. I'm going after this. See you later. I mean, the dude abandoned his protege to go and look for this. So, it's definitely that's the whole. I mean, he's been pretty clear about that's the whole reason he's here. He wants this power really bad. So I think that's going to be the biggest threat for our heroes next season. But Thrawn, by the time they get back, Thrawn's already going to have caused a lot of problems.
Okay. Well, it's been a fantastic show. Like we've told you and I've said before, we've not watched Rebels, but the show has gotten our interest for sure.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I was going to ask, what do you guys think of the difference in pace? Because Mandalorian was a different pace than this. This is more space opera. This is more deliberate. It's slower. What do you guys think of this?
I think the pacing has been good. I mean, if it's holding my attention, it's been good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the build up. With one episode left, I don't know what to anticipate in this final episode, but I don't know. I was hoping for something a little bit more between Thrawn and Ahsoka. Um,
Supposedly, this last episode's over an hour. So
there could be.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
as of now, I've been waiting for them to get face to face, and I'm assuming that's going to happen in this next episode. But
Mhm.
Well, to be fair, I mean, granted, please, any of my fellow legacy Star Wars nerds, please correct me. But I mean, Thrawn really never had any run-ins with, like, direct run-ins with Jedi, other than the Mad Jedi in the original either. So there could be a possibility that they may be going to keep Thrawn being like the shadow threat. Like,
okay,
you know he's there, you're scared of him because you can't get to him. And then
Right.
in the end, spoilers, in the end of the original trilogy, well, not the trilogy, the duology, sorry, in the end of the original trilogy of Thrawn books, he actually gets killed by his own bodyguard.
no,
So, which wasn't a Jedi. So, you
Well,
know,
at least-
in the end, it wasn't a Jedi that killed him; it was his own bodyguard.
well, at least it didn't have a moon drag down on top of him.
That's true. That's true. That happened a little bit later, but I mean, to another character.
Mhm.
But you know, he got the Julius Caesar treatment.
Beware the eyes of wherever that place is.
I can't even just express, guys, just from the historical perspective of the amount of stuff and the fact that they're working with Timothy Zahn directly on this, the amount of stuff that they could pull. There are concepts like, you know, that we have replacements for all of the original characters that would have been in it, like Lando. You know, there's this whole concept of the Katana fleet they could go after. Like, he's going to be back. He's going to need ships. What if the Imperials don't just roll up under him like we think that they will? Maybe he has to fight his way through. Maybe he has to find this fleet of ships called the Katana fleet that were mothballed because of a big a viral outbreak killed off all the crew. You know, I mean, there was just like so much stuff in the original books that Filoni could pull on, and he's been doing a masterful job of the story so far. And it's so funny that you can see all of his elements in it. Like, you know, he loves wolves, like I had mentioned. He loves dogs, wolves, things like that. So you got Balin Skull, Shin Hati. So you got Skull and Hati, which were, you know, that were chasing the sun and the moon and Nordic religion. And then, you know, when they chase the sun and the moon, they eventually catch it. It's Ragnarok. And it's like, what does that mean? Does the fact that they're going to catch it eventually mean Ragnarok? What does Ragnarok mean in Star Wars? We don't know. You know, it's really easy to read into stuff, and you know, it's really cool because it's like the good old days where we just kind of got to wait and see, you know, what we're going to be given as a story.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you guys are excited about it. And I really look forward to seeing what you think about it, Bo, when you get a chance.
Yeah. No, like I said, this is very intriguing. Like I said, I'm not watching it from lack of interest. I wanted to ingest it as a full thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been good. We have no complaints. We've actually been, I mean, we're not, the last couple of times we have not gotten to them until like Thursday night. Just for timing purposes, but and probably that'll be the case again this week with my schedule. But yeah, looking forward to it, and we'll certainly do a wrap up on the next episode for sure.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'll try to ingest it all before we record next time.
Okay. All right.
Maybe I won't get that wild hair to keep continuing to try to clean up the garage and do other things and actually watch stuff.
I won't fault you if you do both. That'll be awesome. I know the feeling.
So, okay. Well, is there anything else we want to touch on before we call this an evening?
No, I think we've.
Jess is no.
No, man, I gotta go to work.
That sugar rush from the pecan pie is wearing off on her.
This has been a hard episode for me to get through. I apologize. I think everything that has been going on the last couple of days is kind of catching up with me.
Yeah, we both fell asleep on the couch early last night. She fell asleep really early, and I was trying to watch the end of the Alabama game, and I think I made it to the fourth quarter, to the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Well,
but
the
after
game
that,
started at 8.
Yeah, that's true. So, well, all right. Well, this tired bunch is going to wrap this episode up then.
Mhm.
Again, you can find us on social media at Bama Geeks on Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. We're all over the place on there. And we've also got our front porch community, the Bama Geeks Front Porch on Facebook. You can find us there and interact with us directly in a private group. All you got to do is request to come on in. Just do a search for it on Facebook. And then, of course, if you want bonus audio and video, usually 30 minutes to an hour, sometimes in between there, we normally try to keep it around 40, 45 minutes of bonus stuff that we just let loose and talk about. Patreon.com/Bama Geeks. Extra audio, extra video, Discord, and hopefully worthwhile use of your $5.
Mhm. Yeah.
And also YouTube, not YouTube. I can't think anymore. Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you can leave us a 5-star rating. We would certainly appreciate it. If you want to write up a nice review about us, we would appreciate that. If you don't, that's, we'll take it all. We all have thick skin. We're too old to care anymore. Oh, that's me, Gen X, whatever. So yeah, but we appreciate you and appreciate our Patreon members, and we hope that we'll see you again for episode Route 66.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, we might have some special fun things for this next episode. That'll be the next episode before Halloween. Last year, we had our good friend Michael Nix on to discuss some Alabama ghost stories. Will Nixie return? We honestly don't know. He hasn't committed to it yet. We might.
It's not Route 66, dude. It's execute episodes.
Of course, the Star Wars man. Yeah. Order 66. So, we don't know if we're going to do Alabama ghost stories again. We're trying to sweet talk him. It takes a little bit of a bribe to get him to actually do some homework and research. Actually doesn't. He loves telling haunted stories. But something else, we've got a fun thing coming up the weekend, a day before we record next time. We'll be able to talk about. We're actually, we'll go ahead and say, we're not going to tell you where, but we're all four going to join up and do a little ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Before the next episode.
And if you're friends with any of us, you know where we're going. That's
you know
fine.
exactly where we're
We're
going.
interested in it. So
so yeah, we if we're allowed to take video and stuff there, we'll do that and post it up. But yeah, so we got some fun things between now and then, and hopefully the next episode will be a lot of spooky goodness and fun for you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap it up. I'm Brock. That's Jess.
Yeah.
That's
me.
Bo. That's Kevin.
woo!
Hopefully home soon from the great, well, it's not Canada, it's not the great white north, just north.
It's pretty close.
Yeah. So we thank you so much for joining us on Bama Geeks. We'll see you next episode.
Goodbye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.